think this is pretty stupid, but the Irving media, or whatever you want to call it, what should come first, housing or recovery? Must be a very slow news day, but what's going on here is former Irving owners, the new owners are from Ontario, and they made an editorial, made themselves very clear that the new housing at the abortion clinic should be a new housing for met heads beside the school, and the destruction of the cemetery, that's nothing. So I never read this, and Warren is there, so I don't know. I emailed him a couple of months ago and he didn't even want to talk to me. So these are advocates that don't talk to the people, but so-called Dr. Sara Davidson thinks she could brainwash the public via these things here. So let's say how foolish this is. Can you put a met head in a housing unit? Of course not, because they'll destroy the place. Upstairs there was one living on top of me, never flushed the toilet for 3 months. The garbage was piled up right till the ceiling, the sink and the washroom was broken in half. Anyway, it just goes on and on. Let's see what they say here, if I don't lose my temper like the last time. Warren Murdoch can understand and relate to addiction. Oh, they're not going to talk about crystal meth. Addiction specialist, that's her new name now. Sara Davidson, she's as much as an addiction specialist than I am as a doctor for ADHD. Desire to establish a new apartment building where people can live while going through recovery and treatment. But he worries, here we go. But he worries the approach of providing housing ahead of recovery, gotcha, especially with unpredictable behavior, met heads, prompted by crystal meth use, here we go, won't yield the positive outcome for which everyone is striving. Of course not. It'll be a total destruction. Davidson has proposed a new apartment building to under blah blah blah. Murdoch see how addiction and homelessness collide in the community every day. No, not homelessness. Choose to be homeless. He said there are serious mental health issues driving people in pain to use illicit drugs. One of the problems is that those mental health problems can be addressed until you can deal with the addiction first, but you can bring a horse to water, right? It will end poorly. Murdoch said he's worried about the plan to offer apartments to people before they gotten their addiction under control and begun to deal with underlying traumas and conditions, rules. They don't go by rules. He said Davidson's approach flows from a harm reduction strategy, but his is one on which people are able to achieve stability by getting clean first, so they can deal with underlying health problem. It's common sense. You just don't go put a met head into an apartment. It's like we like to see people get off drugs. Believe providing an apartment to someone still suffering from the dire effect of addiction is putting the cart before the horse. Duh. The chances of them staying in an apartment is almost zero. He said, yep, that's true. They're not able to hold the apartment. Of course not. They destroy the place. They even piss. They got a washer and dryer. They piss in the washer machine. While the addiction and homelessness, no such thing as homelessness, situation are alarming and in need of urgent action, Murdoch said moving people into their own space before they're capable of maintaining sobriety isn't feasible. Well, that's good. If you rush the process, it will end poorly. Of course, the kids will see the stabbing and the beating and the police every single day. Davidson said, oh, there she is, said she and Murdoch are focused on the same goal. It just comes down to a difference in psychology. She embraced the housing first and addressing homelessness, the service that gets homeless into housing rapidly, then address the rest of their concern. Bullshit! The best evidence she reviewed indicates the path to pursue people are getting to be able to achieve a sort of disability, stability only when there are indwelling. No, that's bullshit. People need that housing, bullshit. Housing is in the answer by itself. Noting addict wanted treatment to recovery need a lot more support than a roof over their head. Nah. Manda said the community supports people experiencing addiction and homeless, so-called homeless, are insufficient now, and he's worried it's unrealistic the system will be able to help those entering the apartments Davidson has proposed. There's definitely will be challenge. Of course there'll be. Davidson proposed project drew concern from the public, and she says, I don't give a shit about the public. I'll listen to you, but there's going to be apartments there. No question about it. Maddox understand why people worry such project being too close to the area associated with kids, but if a community is going to support and undertake such project, there are few spaces that aren't going to evoke such reaction. In the city, you're always close to something. Is he supporting this? When it comes to location, Maddox said there tends to be a mindset that new project in general needs to be in the downtown area. Fredericton mindset to avoid the north side. What the hell? There are good reasons to establish quality service vulnerable on the north side, pointing to the facts. Department that the public also offer more server. Yeah, no, this is getting me upset again. No, it's desperate not. Anyway, the bottom line is she's standing her ground, and if one politician, by the way, I'm back, I'll be chasing the politician this week. One politician support this project, they're history.